In the past year and some change, we've had two horror movies take a creative risk and tell a story from the perspective of the person, creature, or entity that is typically the antagonist. In A Violent Nature showed a murder spree from the perspective of a Jason Voorhees type slasher, and Presence is telling a story from the perspective of a ghost. And while In A Violent Nature didn't really work for me, I appreciate the attempt to do something different. And just like In A Violent Nature, I went into Presence appreciating the creative attempt, but also hoping to appreciate the movie as well. Did that happen? Let's talk about it. After enduring a traumatic experience, a family of four decides to relocate to a new home, but soon after arriving, they begin to suspect that they are not alone. Ayo, Presence might have the worst ghost I have ever seen. Or not seen. Anyway, a large part of what Presence hinges on is how we feel about Ghostie's actions and the motivations in relation to the family. And yes, I will be calling him or her Ghostie for the rest of the review. Unfortunately, the writing did Ghostie zero favors. So we have this family move into their new home with Ghostie already there. The family moves to this new spot after the daughter's friend tragically unalives herself, or at least that's what's believed to have happened. This is something that you find out over time through various conversations between family members. Movies like Ghostlight do this to perfection. They never just come out and say what happens, but allow you to piece it together through dialogue. It's a dope way to keep people invested in the story by keeping us curious about what happened for the characters to be how they are when we first met them. For the majority of the movie, I'm thinking that the ghost is the daughter's friend, which I question at times because the ghost was in the house before the family moved in there. So how would she know where they were going to be, or why would she care to jump out there until they arrived? I had a conversation with a friend who indicated that it was actually the brother/son who was the ghost. It's explained in the movie by a medium that the ghost doesn't operate in the same linear time that we do, which would explain how the brother could be alive during these events, but his ghost could still be haunting them, for lack of better term. To which I said, oh. And then I thought about it a second, and it actually makes the movie worse. There's two major issues I have with this movie. Both are related to Ghostie, and remember, we're following the POV of the ghost. For a ghost that just died recently, it sure seems like whoever that person was forgot all of their manners. I'm so serious when I say Ghostie didn't give an F about personal space, like at all. And this is a constant throughout this movie. Like, why the F are you so close like you can't hear what they're saying? Bro, back the F up, or sis, depending on who the ghost actually is. Second and most egregious is how Ghostie's actions were bafflingly inconsistent throughout the entirety of the movie. So the brother has a friend who comes over to the house and he introduces him to the sister, the daughter character. The daughter and the friend later really hit it off. They do the teenage thing of sneaking over the house, and over time, they become intimate with each other. At one point, they're about to have sex, and Ghostie broke something in the room to prevent that from happening. And at first, I was like, yo, Ghostie out here cock blocking. Well, it turns out Ghostie definitely should have been cock blocking. Later in the movie, the daughter and the friend do have consensual sex at her house where the ghost resides. Now, keep in mind that we're seeing this entire movie from the perspective of Ghostie, who, remember, broke something in the room to prevent them from having sex before. After they're done and homegirl goes to take a shower, she asks homie to go get her some juice from the fridge. He obliges, but we see him put a white substance in old girl's orange juice. I think it's orange juice. It looked like orange juice. She gets out of the shower and he says, hey, I could really go for another round. She says, nah, I'm not feeling that right now. He starts talking about some, oh, no worries, you're in complete control of the situation. We won't do anything that you don't want to do. He says this while putting the roofie juice on the table next to her bed, expecting that she would eventually drink it. Ghostie, being the stand-up ghost that they are, knocks the juice on the floor so that no sexual assault takes place. That's awesome. That's exactly what we want our ghost friend or brother to do. The problem is that in the climax of the movie, the rapist comes over the house again under the guise of hanging out with the brother. Both parents are out of town on a work trip. And here's where I start to lose my mind. Rapist Bull makes the brother a roofie drink to put him to sleep so he can go do dirt with the sister. Mission accomplished, the brother drinks and falls right to sleep. We're watching this from the perspective of the ghost, who has has already shown that they have the ability to move things, shake the room, and even throw objects. And for some reason, Ghosty just lets all of this happen. He sees the Grapist boy in the kitchen making the mixed cocktail with the drugs. And if we're to believe that Ghosty is the brother or the friend and they have the ability to shake things up, why wouldn't you do it then? But he lets the brother take the roofied substance and fall asleep. And Grapist goes up to the sister's room like they planned with drinks in hand, one roofied for her and original recipe for him. They start to talk and she tells him, since she's still a bit fragile from her friend's passing, that she doesn't think that intimacy is something that she wants to explore anymore right now. She just needs space to get her mind right. The boy starts playing this woe is me card and being mad manipulative. He eventually hands her the roofie special and she drinks it. Ghosty is just standing there watching this happen. If you think that's baffling, wait until you hear this. Ghosty watches as Grapist pulls out some kind of plastic to suffocate the daughter, and eventually he confesses that he was the one who killed her friend, and Grapist begins to maneuver the daughter's body into a position where he can sexually assault her. Does Ghosty shake up the room or do any defensive maneuvers we've seen them do before? No, not at all. Ghosty runs downstairs to wake up the brother. The brother wakes up and runs upstairs and spears the Grapist through the second-story window, killing them both. And that's how the brother dies and becomes a ghost. The ghost who would interfere and then randomly wouldn't, and I guess got himself killed? What? Movies can leave you with a range of emotions: joy, sadness, relief, and worst of all, boredom. I felt none of those emotions after watching Presence, but what I definitely felt was annoyance. This movie annoyed me to no end, and I walked out feeling like I wasted my time. So, have you seen Presence? If you have, let me know what you think about it in the comments, and I gotta go. I'll talk to you guys next time.